What do you do anyway?
I'm a writer, I guess.
Yes, don't you know?
You get 2 sheets every Saturday. You put the clean sheet in the top sheet in the bottom sheet you turn in the laundry board. Any man turns in the wrong sheet spends the night in the box. No one will sit in the bunks with dirty pants on. Any man with dirty pants on sitting on the bunk spends the night in the box. Any man don't bring back his empty pop bottle spends the night in the box. Any man loud talking spends the night in the box.
A man who spent too much time in the box. He is Senator Aric Putnam on the program with us today. Senator, how you doing, my friend?
I'm all right. You had me at dirty pants.
I absolutely love that. Nobody can eat no 50 eggs. That's Cool Hand Luke.
Oh, okay.
Ain't nobody can eat no 50 eggs. So anyway, that's one of my favorite shows. The thing I want to chat about today, have you been to the Blue Goose Speakeasy in your neck of the woods up in St. Cloud?
I have. It's really cool, isn't it? Like, I'm glad you got a chance to check out St. Cloud. There's so many interesting, cool, little curious things here. It's pretty sweet.
Can we talk honestly about St. Cloud?
Yeah.
Honestly, going up there, the image that I had in my head, completely different than what showed up. I don't know why I thought it was just this massive industrial kind of out, semi big city thing. We get there, hotel people were fantastic. One rule, can I get you to make a law for me? So we show up at the hotel, the Holiday Inn something or other. Anyway, we get there and there's busload after busload of 6th graders to 12th grade religious kids. They had some big, massive get-together to talk God and stuff. But it looked like, obviously, their first time without parents at the hotel. I think you got to tell a guy when he's checked in that when we call a guy, hey, by the way, you're going to be one of 2 adults. You and your wife will be the 2 adults that are in the building. I think they have to have a law. It was the kids were fine, but loud. Holy crap. Got it.
I think that's fair. I think there actually should be a citywide bulletin. Because it's just for the people in the hotel. It's like the ankle biter alert goes off. Like, there's going to be kids everywhere.
And it could have been anywhere. I'm not blaming St. Cloud. I'm just saying that I think there should be a state law. If like 50% of your rooms are going to be rented to humans that don't even have a license yet, you got to let the other people know. I think that's common sense, but that's just me. Anyway, you get there, the kids were fine. And then we get there and we go downtown for an art crawl, art walk thing. We got there while they're kind of setting up. People were very nice. Went to all your downtowns, and this is why I don't want to say it bad. It was much cleaner than I expected for a downtown. It was very nice. People were wonderful. We couldn't have asked more questions than people give. I really enjoyed it. And then we went to this speakeasy. Good news, bad news. Everybody thinks it's cute, and I suppose it is. We're told by how. Let's because I asked where could we go, and I invited some folks to come and have a beverage. And he brings up this speakeasy. Oh, that sounds cool. My wife and I are into old crap. This would be wonderful. Well, the internet will tell you what block it's on. And that's great. So we parked in the ramp, and then we figured we're a couple smart people. We'll find this thing. No finding this thing. So we're wandering around, hit some poor guy up. Hey, where's, it's by the library. You'll know it when you see the bathroom. I don't know what this means, but like, okay. So we walk to the library. There's library using walk upstairs, and there's a little bar there. There's a big concert going. I mean, this place is busy. I'm like, doesn't seem like speakeasy to me. Didn't seem like the right place. So we wander around. Like, what about out here? We end up in a hall, an alley thing, and some gal comes by, and I'm like, sorry, I know this is freaky, but do you know where this place is? She gets this weird tourist, you don't know what you're doing thing, and she kind of gets us the right area, but doesn't tell us how to get the heck in, and then we spend the time getting in, and we get in, and this place is freaking wonderful. I don't know if 40 people can fit in it, but the drinks were fantastic. The hors d'oeuvres of the food they had was just super off the charts. What a fun place.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear my first takeaway though is that Jeff Howe's not your real friend if he didn't tell you actually how to get there.
What?
That sounds like he was hazing you. I'm your real friend. I would tell you how to get there.
2 people in your town didn't tell me. They all kind of lit up to give me kind of the thing, and then I got to figure out how to get it. Yeah, that's a good point, by the way. He made up, but it was fun, and everybody else seemed to understand it. Then you couldn't even leave out the door you came in. It was a whole nother thing. It was really quite cool. I mean, I get it. That's your whole speakeasy gig, and whoever, I want to say, I asked about the owner, Jay or Ray. I'm going to
Ray's a pal of mine, actually.
Oh, really? Because
you'll like this. I was working on this social district bill where we would allow people to drink in commercial areas downtown.
Yeah.
And he came down to testify. And the first thing he said was, I've known Aric for a long time, and I've really appreciated voting against him for all these years. And he wasn't kidding. He's
Oh,
a good guy, though. And that's his
okay.
place.
And evidently he owns a couple of the places, and this is and anyway, I heard the whole story because the waitress was fantastic. The manager bartender Mac, if I get her name right, she came over to do the smoked drink that I had, and we got chatting. I could not have been more pleased with the humans that I found there. Now I say this. I don't know if I'm putting off a health vibe these days or there's something going out there. But I asked the guy at the hotel, obviously, what could a guy go and see in St. Cloud? And I asked these people at the, oh, you got the big walking trail over here and the bluffs and the stuff. And I'm sitting outside this hotel with a cigar, and this guy's talking to me, looking at me, thinking he thinks I want to go on a hike. Am I putting out a vibe I don't want, Putnam? Is that where you would have suggested I went?
You just ooze health, man. Like it's the first thing I think if I saw you walking downtown, I'd be like, well, we have a 10K in a couple months. Like, that's the first thing I would have said.
So they missed their opportunity to buy about this much. We did go to that art crawl. It was fun, but I enjoyed your city. I guess, can I just leave it at that? It was fun. It was more than I expected. And I don't know why I had a thought that maybe you just think downtown in big cities is just going to be that way. And they cleaned it up just because everybody's downtown for the art thing. It was really nice, and people were fabulous. Here's one thing I thought. See, and again, I'm not ripping you a little bit. A lot of tattoo shops per shop in your downtown. That must be just a huge I don't have one. I'm not that guy. But there must be enough business because I want to say 3, 4, or 5 of them in the downtown stretch we went. My wife said, money in tattoos here. There must be.
I
That's
think
not a
that
put
it's a
down.
relatively new phenomenon. A couple years ago, the tattoo parlors just started popping up downtown, but they all seem to be doing pretty well.
Good for that. Again, I'm not judging. It's just,
Yeah.
you expect a few bars, expect about something, and then the tattoo shops. And it was all there. And we ate at some Mexican place. Really good. Great staff again. I don't remember the name of it. I should write this stuff down. Anyway, so thanks to your city for taking care of me. I want to talk a subject again is St. Cloud because it was in the paper again today, and maybe I'm missing something. And trust me, when I read these headlines, I think of other stuff. St. Cloud is having a problem with the St. Cloud University, problems with their controversial online courses. Now, for me, that means, porn courses or, something like that. What do you mean by controversial courses? But that's really not the problem. It's something to do with they're 7 weeks long. Kids can get degrees evidently too quickly. What is the controversy with these kids taking online classes? Because between you and I, in 20 years, most college will be online, I presume. Your thoughts? Am I wrong? Tell me what the
That's part of the
controversy is.
intervention is because right now we got a lot of people in Minnesota taking classes at like National American University or New Hampshire University
Or the
or
Phoenix
Arizona
thing is stuff
State
you see online, on TV. Sure.
Yeah, so like we're sending all these tuition dollars to these places that are substandard and are national in orientation, and it's so there is a need for us to get
Okay.
a little bit more intentional with online education here. The problem with this and why it's controversial is that the former president of St. Cloud State a couple years back signed this contract with this one company that does the infrastructure and promotes all this stuff
Okay.
and gave up half of the tuition dollars for every student that we get. That's a ridiculous giveaway when it comes to the tuition amount. Now, some people say that that's industry standard. I don't care. Like, you shouldn't give up half the tuition money for someone who ran some Facebook ads to get some folks to go to your classes. The other issue that made it a little bit more controversial, and I honestly think that if that percentage hadn't been that high, it wouldn't be the issue that it is.
Oh,
But I think that's a big part of it because Southwestern State did a similar deal, and I think they pay 30% of their tuition to the same company.
even
So
that seems high to me. Excuse me for interrupting,
I
but
don't
it's
know.
kind of like the University of Minnesota has a political I want to say active, legislative person that goes to the Capitol to try to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
money, right? At the University of Minnesota, they have an entire law department. Like one of the 5 or 10 legal guys that do this couldn't go to the Capitol and talk about when you need it. You have to hire out. I presume the University of Minnesota, the system must have computer people and professors who could set up our online distribution or whatever that could we not set us up within ourselves and not pay someone 30 or 50? The marketing? Well, they do marketing. Don't we have marketing majors? Don't we have professors of marketing that was on the staff, if you will? You're
That's
looking at me
part
like,
of the problem. That's a big part of the problem because I asked those questions too, and
oh,
people said, "Well, no, we can't." And I don't understand why we can't. But that's another part of the issue because that's a lot of money to give away. And the other thing that people are concerned about isn't the 7 weeks of it all. It's that these companies then own the syllabi. So there's some concern that from faculty that are saying like, "Well, yeah, they'll do this now, and then they'll just keep the class and teach it themselves, and they don't need us anymore." So,
okay.
from my point of view, like the big thing that people didn't do well when it came to this issue and why it's controversial is one, like when you talk online education, you got to talk about different kinds of classes and different disciplines. You can't just
Hmm.
roll over it and say it's all the same. A business degree
Sure.
online is one thing. Public speaking online is not. Do you know what I mean? Like you shouldn't get credit for that. That's
Yeah.
not a real class. It should not happen in the real world. But
Uh,
if we just open the gates like we did, and we say like,
the-
oh, any class you can just do in 7 weeks and you can do it online this way. It's like, nah, I'm not
well,
taking English Lit online that way.
who does the professoring on that? So let's say it's an English class, which you're not happy about, but it's online. Is it through the company has an English teacher that's going through the paperwork, or is it through St. Cloud? They have to have the teacher, and that person has to figure out how to do it online through this program. How does that even set up? Who's doing the teaching?
It's supposed to be our faculty, and that's the other
Okay.
issue because they don't necessarily want to make some of these adjustments, and they don't think that they necessarily like want to do it in 7 weeks either. So there's some other challenges there, but some faculty totally want to do it. I mean, you might find this interesting. When we were dealing with this in the legislature a couple of years ago, I had to sit there and just watch some union on union violence because the IFO, the faculty union, was like, hell no, we can't do this
Hmm.
online stuff. It's going to dilute the quality of our education. They had some good points. But then the Teamsters were on the other side because a lot of their faculty and their folks who work there, it's great for their enrollments. So
Oh,
it's
sure.
just one of those complicated things where there's folks on both sides. But I think one thing that we can all agree on is that 50% is too damn much money to give away.
Well, no, it seems, but now, and I've got to go to break. Let's go to break. When I come back, I will ask you this very tough question. So you do the math if you can. The provost, the head human that made that call and signed that agreement, must have some math skills behind him saying, okay, it cuts my cost. She did it for some reason for 50%. Can we talk about on the other side? You know, I presume it worked. I think they said in the paper 500 kids are doing this right now. You kind of getting 250 kids worth of cash, if you will, 50%. Does that work still? Is the school making more money or less? We'll talk about it right after this. I've got him, Senator Aric Putnam from the beautiful city of St. Cloud.
Tired of one-sided media and divisive noise drowning out your conservative values? Take back the conversation with Braver Angels. Join a grassroots movement to restore civility and find common ground without compromising your principles. As a conservative, your voice matters. Share your perspective on issues like immigration and public health in Red Blue workshops and help rebuild trust in our great nation. Be a leader in depolarizing America. Sign up for free at mn.braverangels.org. Braver Angels, where conservatives, liberals, and independents unite for a stronger republic.
Think about it. A famous politician once said, "You're entitled to your opinion, but you are not entitled to your own facts." But in a world full of AI and fake news, where can Minnesotans find the facts? Center of the American Experiment is Minnesota's go-to source for fact-based analysis and common sense solutions for taxes, energy, public safety, and our kids' education. Visit AmericanExperiment.org for more information. Think About It is brought to you by Center of the American Experiment, Minnesota's think tank.
The Al Travis Show, the last place you can go and hear all sides. Respectful, thoughtful, and grateful.
Just to clear some things up, I'm loving St. Cloud, don't get me wrong. My wife and I are running around the state. First, we do this across the state, so I should. But second, because we're going to have to look to find out where we're going to retire if we retire. I like my home in Blue Earth. I'm not necessarily wanting to fly, but if the kids are in the cities, the wife and I are going to have a conversation. I like Blue Earth. I loved Brainerd when I lived up there. 30 years ago, loved it. But if you're going to retire there, you kind of got to get a lake place. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest here. That being said, you're still the same amount of distance from the cities, and that doesn't really fly. St. Cloud, wonderful, but right now, I'll be honest, and we're not in the city, I'm loving New Prague. Don't know if you've been to New Prague. Coolest little downtown. Again, it kind of has to do with how people treat you. There's this 1319 Smokehouse Club. Fantastic people. Really got a vibe. That's what's leading right now to me. My wife and I think top. That's why we're doing this, heading up to cities and just hanging for the weekend. New Prague's number one right now with a bullet. Just saying. Your thoughts? Never been?
Is St. Cloud number 2?
Well, once you get to one, you're only going to one. You don't really have to rank the rest of them. I liked it. I would possibly say, yeah, it could. Although I like Elko Newmarket, to be quite frank, which seemed like 3 cities in one, but it's not. It's some weird thing across the highway. I don't live there. It seems close enough to the cities, like 20 minutes, but it's no bigger than Blue Earth. It's like 3,000 people. Kind of like that vibe. Just throwing it out there.
Well, if it's New Prague or St. Cloud, you have heard about the scabies outbreak in New Prague, haven't you? there's
It's the little things you don't catch.
There's nothing but diseases all over that place, man. I don't think that's where you want to go, and I think you need to move here before November of next year. I think that's my strategy. Retire soon, my friend.
The hard sell. So I, as well as your friend Ray, won't vote for you. Is that what you're saying? Ow, that hurts, Alan. All right.
Ray wants some company. He doesn't be alone and being the only 2 people who don't vote against me.
Too funny. All right. Where do we leave off? Oh, the finances of this. Oh, yeah. It would seem so strange to me if you're running a university and you just go sign a contract for 50% of the money. You're like, does that still make us money then? If the teachers are doing the teaching and kids, does it work? And is it working? I guess, do we know that yet? It's the first year, so maybe we don't know.
Part of the challenge is we don't fully know, because one of the arguments that we heard, and it's hard to tell if it's true or not, is that those new 400 students or 500 students would have gone to St. Cloud State anyway and would have paid full tuition. So we don't know if these really are new students. They're supposed to be, and that's what the plan is. The plan is like, you took a couple years of college and didn't finish. You got a job now. You need to find a way to finish, but you can't dedicate, the time or the resources, the energy to like fully enroll in the institution. So you want to take a couple classes and finish up. That totally makes sense. And if those people we're truly reaching, then it's a great idea for the community because people are getting more educated, but it's also a good thing for the school. But if we're taking from our folks who would have been paying full tuition, it doesn't math out as well.
And is this something you can get an entire degree in? And you can go and I graduated University of Mankato, St. Cloud State University, and never really set foot on campus. Can I go through the whole Is that set up that way?
Yeah, you kind of can, and at least that's my understanding. So like that's a risk too. But again, like we were saying before, I think in certain disciplines it makes tons of sense to deliver education online, but in others it just doesn't. So you got to be thoughtful about it.
Do you know if the credits cost the same?
I think
I can do this in 7 weeks, or I can do it the traditional semester way, but it's the same cost, but I get it done quick. Is that the same? Do we know?
I think it is. Yeah, I don't know for sure, but I think it is.
All right, that's fair enough. Hey, I ran out of time. Didn't get to talk to you about guns and knives in schools. Evidently, that's up. We'll talk about it next week. We're gonna have to have that conversation. It didn't come up because I
spent so much. Busy next week. I've got a thing. I got a thing next Wednesday morning.
I get it. All right. I appreciate you, and I really appreciate your city, my friend. Thanks for coming on the show.
Great to see you, my friend. Take care.
He's Senator Aric Putnam on the Al Travis Show.